Now it is the time to discuss about the applied problems of maxima and minima. Up till now you have studied that what is the meaning of maximum minimum value, what is the meaning of point of maxima, point of minima, and how to calculate these four different types of functions like algebraic functions, exponential functions and trigonometric functions. This all I have discussed in my previous video, and the link is provided in the description box. So from there, if you have not watched it, you can watch the video. So the thing that we are going to discuss in applied problems of maxima minima are the problems that you have already studied in your secondary classes, like in linear equations in two variables and inequalities in 11th class also you have studied. Means these are the type of word problems, okay, in which the requirement is to read the question and to understand it carefully. After that, just you have to frame the function, and after that the question will remain same as you have done in the previous exercise. Means you need to just find out point of maxima, minima and the maximum minimum value. So the only thing that you need to do additional over here, just to read and understand the question carefully. Okay, so let's go ahead for this same. Before going to the problems, I would like to tell you that you should know all the formulas of mensuration that you have already studied in your secondary classes. These are area of rectangle, perimeter of rectangle, area and perimeter of square, triangle, circle. These you all should know. Similarly, you should know volume, curved surface area, total surface area, or the required surface area, neither curved nor total. Means you should have the complete knowledge of mensuration before going to the problems of maxima and minima. So I hope you know everything and you can do the questions in a very well manner. So let's go ahead. Best of luck and let's start. Here is the first problem of this type is determine two positive numbers whose sum is 15 and the sum of whose squares is minimum. So to attempt these questions, the very first step that is very important is to write what is to find out and what is given. So let me write the given part. Here the given part is the two numbers whose sum is 15. So sum of two numbers is 50. It is given to us. Okay. Now next is to find or to prove. To find oblique prove. Here we need to find the two positive numbers because it is saying determine two positive numbers. So very first thing, find the two positive numbers. Okay, and the second part is the sum of whose squares is minimum. So we need to prove that sum of squares of two numbers is minimum. Okay, so let us start with the given part. Okay, so let one number is x. So you know very well that other number is 15 minus x. You know very well. Or you can start with like one number is x, other number is y, then x plus y is equal to 15. From there also you can calculate either x or y. So this is one and the same thing. You can move in any way. Okay. Now the second thing is sum of squares of two numbers is minimum. here you should be aware that the sentence or the expression with which this word minimum, maximum, at least, at most, means such kind of words are written, that expression or the statement is to use to form the function that already were given in the previous exercise questions, in which you directly proved that this is the point of minima, this is the point of maxima, and so on. The only difference is here we need to frame the function ourselves. Okay, so here the function that is to be framed is sum of squares of two numbers. Okay, so the required function is required fx is, you may name it as fx, or you may name it as s, or you may name it as z, any name you can give, this is your choice. So let me name it as s. So s is equal to, or fx is equal to, even you can write it as fx is equal to sum of squares of numbers. So it is clearly this thing, x square plus 15 minus x whole square. Okay, so now you are up to the level where you need to calculate the point of minima, maxima that you've already done. Okay, so you know very well we need to complete this in 3 simple steps. Number 1, to calculate f dash x, okay, which is clearly 2x plus 2 into 15 minus x into minus 1 by using chain rule over here. So after simplifying it, you are getting 4x minus 30. Okay, so this is f dash x. Step number 1 you have done. Now what is the step number 2? Step number 2 is to calculate the value of x at f dash x is equal to 0. At f dash x is equal to 0, we have x 4x minus 30 is equal to 0, which implies x is equal to 15 upon 2. Okay, this is step number 2. What is step number 3? Step number 3 is to calculate double derivative, that is f double dash x. And clearly f double dash x of 4x minus 30 is 4, which is positive. Okay, and as you have already stated that if double derivative is positive, then the particular value of x at which we are discussing is the point of minima, and the corresponding value is the minimum value. Okay, that we need to prove that sum of squares is minimum. So which implies that sum of squares of two numbers is minimum at x is equal to 15 upon 2. You will think that हमने x तो रखा ही नहीं, तो फिर हमने how we can say कि x की इस value पर f double dash x positive हुआ. Actually, if we are having a variable with f double dash x, then certainly we'll put the value of x over here. But directly, if we are getting a value which is positive or negative, means having no variable, then directly this result implies that this is this is the value of minimum or maximum. Okay, so now the second part that we need to do is to find out the two positive numbers. One part we have done, that sum of squares is minimum. The second part is to find the two positive numbers. So one number is x. So here one number is 15 upon 2. So which implies other number is 15 minus 15 upon 2, because we have considered 15 minus x, which is clearly 15 upon 2. So these are the two numbers that we need to calculate, and second we have proved that the sum of squares is minimum. Understood? Now let us come to second problem. It is show that all rectangles with given perimeter, the square has largest area. So let us do first of all the two steps, important steps that I told to you. It is number one, to identify what is given. So the given is perimeter, given perimeter of rectangles. So perimeter of rectangle is given. This is about all the rectangles. Okay, so we will proceed in a general way. And the second thing is to find or to prove. So to understand this, let us read the question again. Show that all rectangles whose perimeter is given having the largest area are squares. मैंने इसको दूसरी तरीके से रीड किया है, not in the same way, but इसका जो मीनिंग निकलेगा that will be like this कि सारे rectangles जिनका perimeter हमें given है, मतलब फिक्स है, वो सब का एरिया लार्जेस्ट होगा. कब होगा? जब ये सारे रेक्टेंगल्स स्क्वायर होंगे. ओके, so we need to prove two things here. Number one, area is largest. Okay, and number two is all rectangles with given perimeter are squares. Okay, so number one, area is largest. As I told you, the word which is the statement which is with largest, least, at most, at least will be used to frame the function. So here area will be used to frame the function, and then on calculation of double derivative of this function, we can prove that the area is largest. Okay, and the second, all rectangles are squares. So if we prove that the dimensions of the rectangle, that is length and breadth, are equal, then we can easily say that the rectangles are squares. Let's proceed. Let x and y are the length and breadth of rectangle. So which implies perimeter is equal to twice of x plus y. You know this thing very well. So as I told you that if the given part is in two variables, then find out one of the part from these two, one of the variable from these two. So let us calculate y. So from here we are getting y is equal to p minus 2x upon 2. This is number one expression. So this is the first part, that is from the given. We need to use the we need to find out the relation between the two variables. Okay, so that we can change the given function into the one variable. Now the next is area. Area, or you can write it as a, or you can write it as fx as I suggested you. So it is x into y. Now change this y by expression number 1. So you are getting x into p minus 2x upon 2. Further we are getting 1 upon 2 into px minus 2x square. So we get the function from where we need to follow only three simple steps. Number 1, to calculate derivative with respect to the variable, and variable is x over here. So dA upon dx will be 1 upon 2 to p minus 4. Okay, step number 2 get completed because there is no scope of solving it further. Now let us proceed to the next step, which is to find the value of x when dA upon dx is 0. So at dA upon dx is equal to 0, we have p minus 4x is equal to 0, and from here x is equal to p upon 4. It is so simple, you can do it very easily. So let us calculate the other variable, that is y also over here, or you can do it later on. It's your choice, no foundation over here. So let me calculate y over here itself. So which implies y is equal to, using first expression, it was p minus 2x, means p upon 4 upon 2. You can write over here using 1. So from here simply you are getting y is equal to, on calculation, you are getting p upon 4. Okay. So the one part of the problem has solved, which implies that rectangle are squares. Okay, because length is equal to breadth. Understood? Now the second part that we need to prove, that this area is largest. For that, you know very well, we need to do step number 3. That is to calculate double derivative. That is d square a upon dx square, which is very well simply 1 upon 2 into minus 4. Okay, which is 1 upon 2 into 0 minus 4, which is simply negative. So if double derivative is negative, then what about the function? It is the largest value. So which implies that area is maximum. Okay, so the two parts we have proved. Number 1, the rectangles are squares, and number 2, the area is maximum. Here is the next problem. AB is a diameter of a circle and C is any point on the circle. Show that the area of triangle ABC is maximum when it is isosceles. So to understand this question, it is better to draw this figure. Okay, so let me draw figure for the same problem. First of all, let me draw a circle. Okay, on this circle, let C is any point. Okay, now show that AB is the diameter. So let us mention AB as the diameter over here. And next is show that area of triangle ABC is maximum. Means triangle ABC is having AB, the diameter of circle, as its one side. So let me draw this triangle as well. So this is the triangle ABC. AB is the diameter of the circle as well as one side of the triangle. So clearly O will lie anywhere, means at the center of AB. Understood? So again the two things we need to find out from the question, that one is what is given and other what is to find out or to do. So here AB is the diameter of circle, means the length of diameter is given to us. Understood? Let us consider that A is the radius of the circle. Clearly diameter will be 2A, which is the given part, and given part will take as a constant. Okay, so AB is equal to 2A is here, where A is a constant quantity. What is given? A circle is given whose diameter is given as 2A. So let me write this given part. A circle with diameter AB, let us say it as 2. Okay, this is the given part. Now the next part is show that area of rectangle ABC is maximum when it is isosceles. So it means to find or to prove part, I hope you understood it very well, is number 1, area of triangle is maximum, isn't it? And the second part is triangle is an isosceles triangle. Okay, these two things we need to prove. As I just told you, that by using the given quantity, we will frame the function, and the function is area of triangle. And by calculating its double derivative, proving it that it is negative, then we can easily say that area is maximum. And second, triangle is an isosceles triangle. It means we need to prove that AC is equal to CB. Okay. So let us consider that AC is equal to X and CB is equal to Y, because initially we have to take these two as different, and finally we will prove that X is equal to Y. Okay. So this is how to understand the question. Now let us go ahead with the solution. So here you know very well that AB is the diameter and ACB is the triangle on the diameter. So what does it mean? It means the angle C will be 90 degree, angle in a semicircle. So it means ABC is right angled triangle. And you know very well that in right angled triangle, the area is half of base into height, means half of X into Y. Okay. But both are variable, X as well as Y. So we need to maintain a relation between these two. So this relation can be maintained by again using the property of right angled triangle, and that is Pythagoras theorem. Okay. So first of all, let us go for Pythagoras theorem to get the relation between X and Y. So let me explain it. As triangle ABC is a right angled triangle because triangle in semicircle. Okay, so using Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem, we have AB square is equal to AC square plus BC square. AB square is equal to BC square plus AC square, which is clearly 2A whole square is equal to X square plus Y square. So we need to find out any one of the value, either X or Y. So let us calculate Y square, which is clearly 4A square minus X square, and clearly Y is equal to square root of 4A square minus X square. Let me name this expression as expression number 1. Okay. Now we need to proceed towards the area. Area of triangle ABC. Let me name it as function A, which is equal to half of X into Y. Okay. So we are getting half of X into Y. Y means square root of 4A square minus X square. Now we are ready with the function from where we can prove the two results very easily. One thing I want to add over here, that you know that now you need to do the derivative. But if you are directly doing derivative, then it will be a little bit lengthy, means square root 1 upon 2 root of the function, then again the derivative of the function. But somehow if you remove this square root sign, then your derivative will be very easy. So here, if you apply squaring both sides, then you should know that your answer will remain same. There will be no change in your answer. Only the difference that your derivative will be easy for you. So let us apply squaring both sides to make a function easier, and that we can calculate very easily the derivative. So let us apply squaring both sides. Clearly it will be a square. Let me rename this a square as z. Okay, let us say, you may take any other name also. So it is 1 by 4 x square into 4a square minus x square. This step is not going to change your result. So it is 1 by 4 a square x square minus x power 4. Here I multiplied it inside to avoid product rule. You can directly find the derivative as well. Okay. So now the next step is calculate derivative dz upon dx, which is 1 upon 4 into 8a square x minus 4x cube. Taking x as common, as I told you, simplify it. So taking common 4x, we are left with 2a square minus x square. Understood? So now you know very well, this is the first step. The second step is to find out x at dz upon dx is equal to 0. So at dz upon dx is equal to 0, we have either x is equal to 0 or 2a square minus x square is equal to 0, which is rejected. X is equal to 0 is rejected, as x is equal to 0 not possible, because length of one of the side of triangle can't be 0. So the other result that we are having is x square is equal to 2a square, or you can say x is equal to a root 2 units. Okay, this is one of the side of the triangle. Now as I told you, we can find out other side from here itself from by using relation number 1, 4a square minus x square. So which implies y is equal to square root of 4a square minus x square means 2a square. So from here again you are getting the value of y as a root 2. So the one part of the result has proved. So implies triangle is an isosceles triangle. Okay, one part has been proved. Now we'll focus to the next part, and that is again very simple for you. You need to just prove that area is maximum. For that you need to calculate double derivative. D square not a, it is z, because we have taken the function of z. D square z upon dx square, which is, let us check what is. So here let me apply over here, it will be easier for us to find out. So clearly 8a square minus 12x square, 1 upon 4 into 8a square minus 12x square. Okay, this is the double derivative. Now the value of x that we are having with us is a root 2. So let us put the value of x. At x is equal to a root 2, we are getting d square z upon dx square as 1 upon 4 into 8a square minus 24a square, because this is 2a square from here, so it will be 24a square. So clearly the value that we are getting is negative. As I told you, no need to calculate value, only just find out whether it is positive or negative. And negative sign of double derivative shows, implies that area of triangle ABC is minimum. Okay, and that is the second result that we need to prove. So we have proved the two results, that area of triangle is minimum, and second one that this is an isosceles triangle. Okay, so I hope you understood and you can do this question easily. So here is a very important problem in front of you. This problem was there in CBSE exam in 2009 as well as in 2012. So usually such type of problems are there in the exam for 6 marks, as I told you that for maxima and minima ICSE, CBSE and state boards are covering 6 marks of question. So generally such type of questions are there in the exam. So let us discuss this problem. Here it is. Find the volume of the largest cylinder that can be inscribed in a sphere of radius r. The question is, we need to prove that the volume of the cylinder is largest, okay, which is inscribed in a sphere of radius r centimeter. So given part is sphere whose radius r is given, means r will act as a constant term with us over here. And we need to prove that the volume of the cylinder is largest. Understood? So the given part is sphere with radius r. Sphere with radius r. Okay, and to prove is volume is largest. Sometime yes, and to find is volume of cylinder. Understood? So sphere is given with its radius, volume largest we need to prove, and volume of cylinder we need to find out. Okay, so to discuss this problem, let me take one figure. So here is the figure which shows that a cylinder is inscribed in a sphere. So let us consider some of the dimensions. Let h be the height of cylinder and r, we are taking capital R, is the base radius. We can say CA is equal to capital R and CM is equal to H. Who is the midpoint of MC, and we have taken MC as H. So what is OC? OC will be H by 2, which implies OC is equal to H upon 2. Okay. Now OA is the radius of the sphere. So we have written small r over here because radius of the sphere given to us as small r, and here CA is equal to capital R. Okay. So what we need to prove, that volume is maximum. So what should we do? That the function will be formed from the volume of the cylinder. So we'll take volume of cylinder. You remember it is pi r square h. Here r is CA into h. H is CM we have taken here. CM. Now let us put the values of pi r square h. So CA square into CM. So here pi into CA. CA we have taken r. So it is r square into CM. CM we have taken h. So it is pi r square into h is the volume of the cylinder. Why I have taken here CA and CM? The reason behind it is a very common point where the students usually did the mistake. Instead of writing in the form of CA, CM, or means in the form of vertices, they are just writing r square h. So sometimes if we have not considered r and h over here and we are considering suppose x, y, then it will create a problem over here. So better to write in the form of the vertices and then change it into the variable in which you have considered. This will avoid a big mistake, okay, called as silly mistake. So now this is in two variables, and as I told you that the function should always be in one variable. So how to change it into the one variable? Yes, the radius of the sphere is given to us, and that will help us out to find the relation between radius and height of the cylinder. So clearly OCA is the right circular cylinder. So is a right triangle. So by using Pythagoras theorem, you can have R square is equal to OC square plus CA square. So using triangle OCA, are you right? Using right triangle OCA, we have R square is equal to H by 2 whole square plus capital R square. I have put the values of the two sides. So we are getting H square upon 4 plus R square. So as we can either find out the value of H or R from here. But as R square is present, so clearly it will be simpler to find out the value of R square and as well as to substitute the value of R square over here. Because if we are calculating H from here, it will be in under root sign. And again we have to square both sides and further we need to increase the step. So better if it is possible to calculate R square in an easy way. So and as well as to substitute, then it is better to calculate R square. So let me calculate R square from here. So R square will be clearly small r square minus h square by 4, and on taking LCM you can have 4r square minus h square and taking 1 by 4 outside. So I hope you understood that why we are preferring to calculate capital R square over here. So let me name this expression as number 1, and now putting in 1, we are getting volume of sphere is equal to pi r square, means 1 by 4 into 4r square minus h square into h. H is h over here, it is h. So we can write it as further 1 by 4 pi into 4r square h minus h cube. Okay, to avoid product rule over here, I am multiplying h inside it. Now the function is ready with you, and you need to just find out derivative, double derivative, and the values of h. Yes, because this small r is constant given hai. So इसलिए we will find the derivative with respect to h. So dv upon dh is equal to 1 upon 4 pi 4r square minus 3h square. Understood? If it is possible to simplify, simplify it. नहीं, simplify करना is not possible, to directly we put dv by dh as 0 at dv by dh is equal to 0. What we are getting? 4r square is equal to 3h square. क्या find out करेंगे? h और r? Yes, h, because r is already constant, already given है. So h square is equal to 4r square upon 3, which gives you h as 2 upon root 3r. Now let us calculate volume. So as volume is pi r square h, r is the radius of base. So first of all let us calculate base radius, which is r square is equal to r square minus h square upon 4. Okay, using relation, let me show you the relation. I am using this relation over here, and let us name this relation as relation number 2. So putting the value of h over here, we are getting r square minus 4r square upon 3 into 4. So on calculations, you will get the value of r square, r as 2 upon 3 square root of it into r. So now easily we can calculate volume. Volume is pi r square h. So pi r square means 2 upon 3 r square into h. H we have already calculated, 2 upon root 3 r. So therefore the volume that we are getting is 4 pi r cube upon 3 root 3. So this is the volume. One thing we have calculated. Now is the time to prove that this volume is maximum. And for that, you know very well, we need to go to the second derivative. That is d square v upon dh square. So let us check value of dv upon dh first. This is the value of dv upon dh with us. Let us name this expression as third. So using third, if we calculate d square v upon dh square, clearly this is constant. Derivative of 4r square will be 0. Why? Because r is constant. Given quantity है तो इसका derivative 0 होगा, and remaining this having its derivative as minus 6. So therefore d square v upon dh square using relation number third we get as 1 upon 4 pi into minus 6h, which is clearly negative. Why? Because h is remain positive. So therefore the negative sign shows that volume is maximum. So it implies that volume is maximum. So this is two parts that we have proved. The volume is maximum, and the other to find out the volume that already we have calculated. So here is the next problem. It is, if the length of three sides of a trapezium other than base are equal to 10 centimeter, then find the area of trapezium when it is maximum. So now I hope that you have understood the problem, what is given and what is to find out. So given is the length of three sides, and what is to find out or to prove? We need to find out area of trapezium, and we have to prove that this area is maximum. So to understand the problem very well, let us draw a figure. So here is the figure. ABCD is a trapezium in which AD is equal to BC is equal to AB given as 10 centimeter. Let us draw AM and BN as the perpendiculars on DC. Now you know very well that MN will also be equal to 10 centimeter. Okay. So now let us check what about the length of DM and NC. So let us see in the two triangles ADM and BNC. Here AD is equal to BC. This is given. AM is equal to BN. You know this thing. Distance between the two parallel lines, and angle M is equal to angle N, each 90 degree. Therefore by congruency these two triangles are congruent to each other. So therefore DM is also equal to CN. Let us consider length of these two is x. As we know that area of trapezium is given by half of sum of parallel sides, that is AB plus CD into height. Height, let us take AM height. Okay. Now putting the values over here, it is 1 by 2 AB, that is 10, and this is 10 plus 2x. So we are getting 20 plus 2x into AM. AM, let us calculate. Okay, let us name this expression as number 1. Now in right triangle ADM, we have AM is equal to square root of 100 minus x square. Here we have simply used Pythagoras theorem. Okay, now putting this value of AM in expression 1. So from 1 we have area, let us name this area as A, is equal to 10 plus x into square root of 100 minus x square. So here we are having square root quantity. So as I told you earlier, to get rid of this square root quantity, we can apply squaring both sides. So squaring both sides, we are getting a square, and let name this a square as z, which is equal to 10 plus x whole square into 100 minus x square. Now it is very easy to calculate its derivative by using product rule. Now you know that first step we need to calculate dz upon dx, which is clearly 10 plus x whole square into minus 2x and plus 100 minus x square into 2 into 10 plus x into 1. So let us take common 2 into 10 plus x. So we are left with 10 plus x into minus x and plus 100 minus x square. So now if you observe carefully, you will find that 100 minus x square is again 10 plus x into 10 minus x. So again we can take 10 plus x as common, because after taking common usually question becomes so easy and we can solve it very easily. So it is minus x plus 10 minus x is left. So therefore again taking 2 as common, so it is 4 10 plus x whole square into, we are left with minus x plus 5. So these are the two factors that we are getting of dz upon dx. Now what is the next step? Yes, the next step is to put dz upon dx 0. So at dz upon dx is equal to 0, we have either x is equal to minus 10 or x is equal to 5. X is equal to minus 10 is rejected because it is not possible to have the dimension of any figure as negative. So therefore x is equal to 5 is one of the value of x. Now we know that we need to calculate area. So area is equal to area of trapezium is equal to. So for that let us use the expression number 1, expression number 2. Let us use this expression. So it is 10 plus x, 10 plus x, x is 5 into square root of 100 minus x square is 25. So clearly you are getting 15 into square root of 75, which is clearly giving will give you 75 root 3 centimeter square as the area. One part we have calculated. Now the next we need to prove that this area is maximum, and for that you are very well aware that we need to calculate double derivative of dz upon double derivative of the function, which is can be calculated by using product rule. So let us calculate d square z upon dx square using third expression. Let me name this expression as third. So clearly this is 4 into 10 plus x whole square into minus 1 plus minus x plus 5, this 4 is out of the whole quantity, into 2 into 10 plus x into 1. Okay. Now again it is possible to take common 10 plus x. So 4 into 10 plus x taking common. So we are left here with minus 10 minus x minus 2x and plus 10. Okay. So that's why here we are getting 10 plus x into minus 3x only. Okay, can get cancelled. So now it is very clear that we are having minus 12x into 10 plus x. As x is the positive quantity, so clearly when you will place x over here, certainly you will get double derivative as negative. And what is the meaning of negative double derivative? It means the area is maximum, which implies area is maxim. I have taken different types of problems to make all the concepts clear to you, and I hope you all understand it very well. But until आप खुद solve नहीं करेंगे problems को, you will not be able to solve the question in exam. So at least NCERT की सारी problems को बहुत अच्छे से अपने आप solve कीजिए. For any kind of problem, I am always with you. Till then, keep learning.